Good morning. It is currently July 20th and we are picking up our second cutting. We have 85 bales on this 35 acres, about 1,600 pounds a piece. Pretty good production for a second cutting this year. Plenty of moisture. And I'm going to show you another little tool I got in the toolbox. There it is. There we got the round bale transport here. This is the RBT. Sorry, I just got to go live with it. This is the RBT 7000 by Koyker. I believe they're made down in South Dakota. My father-in-law was shopping one day, I believe, on Craigslist, and got super fortunate. Found this thing down in Minnesota, Glenwood, actually. And yeah, this has made life easy with round bales. What this thing does is it self-loads 7 bales at a time, and then it'll self-empty, creating a nice little line over here on the edge of the field. Less compaction in the field, so I'm not pulling a wagon out here, unhooking the wagon, and then driving on both sides of that wagon, loading it, hooking back onto the wagon, pulling it to the headland or the side of the field, unhooking that wagon and re-unloading, and every single time you unhook and hook onto that wagon, you're just making a mess. You're putting compaction into that field, wrecking the ground that you're parking on and turning on, and yeah. So what this thing has done and saved in time, it just its efficiency. And you know, I'm a little late to the party here. You can start to see there's some pretty decent regrowth out here already. So that's kind of a shame I'm driving out here, but it could have been way worse. I mean, this week's been busy with the humidity and the moisture and everything we've been receiving. It's just been tough to get, you know, you're working on one job after another, and I ain't gonna pull, this is about a half hour from my house, and I got another field another 20 plus minutes from here. So when I come this direction, I like to come at one time and get everything done in one shot rather than going back and forth. So here I am, I finally got everything done back home, and I can get out here and bunch these bales up. But yeah, this thing is the Swiss Army knife of the farm, in the sense that it's just in and out, getting this is the last step, right? You cut it, you rake it, you bale it, and you gotta bundle it, you gotta stack it, right? Get off the field, and this is where we get this done at. So right here, I'll show you. I got our lineup here. Okay. Nice, hit the number 1 handle right here. Dumps those bales off. Nice even 2 rows, just like that. It comes right back, just like that. Now, if you don't know what you're doing, trust me, it took me a long time to get it done right perfect too. And I still have days where if I'm in a rush, I'll mess it up. But you can pinch the bales between the machine and you, and then it turns into ripping that wrap and forcing your way out, and it can be a mess. But otherwise, everything goes pretty smooth. Yeah, I'll be honest, I stole this machine for the price I paid for it. We got very fortunate in finding it. Like I said, my father-in-law found it on Craigslist one day cruising. That was because he bunched, God, I think it was like 280 large round bales of straw in his wheat field when I put them up one year. He wanted to get them off the field, wanted to get it done, and he was tired of waiting on me to come do it. And he bunched 280 large rounds of straw by Bobcat, which we used to, like I said, I was gonna pull up wagons or bring the loader tractor up at least, you know, and get it done that way. And yeah, anyway, I was like, no way you did that. I mean, your back's got to be killing you. You rode around in a Bobcat S650 and bunched all these bales. So, long story short, he's like, there's got to be a better way. So he started shopping, and I guess I never even thought about buying a transport. You know, the only transports I really ever knew about were the, like, Farm Hands, you know, Farm King. I think, you know, there's a couple of different brands out there, I should say. But he found this Koyker, and little did I know, you know, these are made right in our backyard down there in South Dakota, I believe. And price was right on it, and I was like, yeah, I could afford something like that, I guess. And at first I was like, 7 bales at a time? I mean, I can put 22 on the wagons, you know, and get something done, and I ain't gonna waste my time with 7 bales at a time. You get out here and you start loading this thing up, you're loaded before you know it, and you're moving these bales around left and right and dumping them off and back at it. I'll be honest with you, if I wasn't doing this video and I was focusing on just cooking, you can get, oh, when did I do that one day? I think I had over 790 bales on the first cutting, for instance, in my neighborhood back home. I bunched them all in a day. I think it was under 7 hours, 790 bales. That was this first cutting this year. We had a phenomenal first cutting, and it took no time at all. So that doesn't tell you everything right there. That would have took us 3 days before. I did it in 7 hours. So as you can see, it just throws the arm up. There we go, a little one that's a little goofy there. There we go, fall back in there. Perfect. Throws the arm up, pushes it back, and on to your next one. So I'm just kind of going slow around here right now, picking up bales and not really any particular order. But and I got the spear on the front end of the tractor too, so you can pick these ones up so I don't drive on the border of the bean field. But yeah, this thing is the ace in the hole, man. I'd love to do a time lapse with like my drone or something, and just, if it could last long enough up in the sky, and show myself picking up all these bales, because it is pretty efficient, pretty fun. Before you know it, you're on to the next field. You can go sideways and pick them up for the flat sides out, so you're just running right into them. I personally, like, these three are lined up right here, going at an angle, because it's really easy to line up and you get the perfect spin on it. So this arm out here will hit this bale just like so. So it hits that bale and it'll spin it right in there like that. And then from there, well, we kind of got a wonky one there, like I said. Hold on to the camera here, it's not very fun. Probably have to edit this stuff out. But anyway, I'll show you here, one second. Lift it up, set it down, get it straight on there. That one should pass. You want to make sure in your low lanes it passes that yellow arm right there on the push bar. If not, you can bend that. It will hurt the machine, but I like coming at an angle here on these bales. If you can go get them lined up like an angle like this field basically it ran pretty even for yield wise. So everything kind of, you can get them staggered like this. But when you're coming in like this, I'll show you nice and slow here. That arm will get in there and it'll spin the bale into the arm. Then from there you just lift it up. That's why that arm's got that big, you know, handle on it like that paddle. And then from there you just shove it back. And there's a flag back there, let's see if you can see it pop up. There it goes, there goes your flag. You can kind of see it back there. So now with that flag's up, that says your last bale is on the machine. Or you're all the way to the back. So you have room for one more, as you can see. So we'll grab this bale here. Again, that paddle's gonna hit right on the outside of that bale. Spin it just like that. It'll set up against that back arm there. You'll come up with it. And see right there, you'll hit that bar like that. Can't do that. And why that is because I've got my hand on a camera right now instead of doing my job. I'm not coming in with these things, right? But now we got it pushed in there a little more. We'll clear that bale. There we go. So now we got all 7 bales on there. I got my 8th one right here. I don't mind doing 8 at a time. Obviously, for every 7 bales you grab at the front of the tractor, you save yourself a trip, right? But now I have to, when I get up the pile, I got to set this one down, back up, go up to the next side, you know. So it's just one more step where it's just quick just to run up there, dump them, and keep on trucking. There's 85 bales out here, so essentially it's going to be about 10 trips regardless. We've already got 3 done. There's only 7 more to go. Does not take that long, and I've been playing with this camera the whole time. I did. By the way, this machine came with only 2 sets of hydraulics. So believe it or not, let's see if I can show you down here. As long as I'm driving. There's that box right there, right by the neck, and there's a black little button that you have to push. And what that button does would allow you to change. It's a hydraulic switch box, and so what I do is get out and to switch the hydraulics from, say, running the push bar, you know, the bar that's pushing these bales back. You would actually get out and hit that button to, you know, push it in or pull it out, to run the dump. And I said, no, that's the same as getting in and out to flip wagons, you know, or unhook bins. So what I did was went up to Kozowski Governor there in Buffalo, and I had them put a plug in that and run me 2 new sets of hoses. So now I have, because I had a 4-port system on my tractor, I had 4 hydraulic ports on my tractor, and so I was like, shit, I can run 3 lines no problem. So I had them do that, and now I don't have to get out at all, which is really, I mean, that's kind of the point of it. So I did modify this one obviously a little bit. I don't know if the new models are like that or what the deal is, but that definitely saves from getting in and out, that's for sure. Yeah, kind of a relaxing job in all honesty, and when you're done, the field's clear. It's kind of a satisfying feeling. All the bales are lined up, nice and even, all rows over there. Yeah, so it's just another thing crossed off the list when you're done, and looks good, and the field can regrow. And like I said, I'm not less compaction in this field, less churning, less less ripping up the stand, especially being late to the party on this. I cut this field on Wednesday morning last week, so here we are 1 week later. And like I said, I got this good regrowth already coming. And I hate driving over it, but we've got moisture. It'll bounce back just fine. I don't feel too guilty. I'll be honest, I don't like being in a field. After a week, I start really feeling bad. So if for the stand and for the driving on it, I don't like that. So if I can be under a week on everything from cutting to raking to baling to stacking it off the field, harrowing it, fertilizing it, that's kind of where my goal is at all times. 1 week from cutting to baling to getting it in and out. That's the goal at hand. Anything over a week, you start to affect the yield and the stand and everything for the next time around, in my opinion. I mean, maybe that's just my worry of my crop, I guess, and I'll be honest, probably a week's too long too. I've done a lot of fields that look just as good if you can do it in 4 days. That's always awesome, but the weather doesn't always allow that, let's be real. So if you can do it, I've done it before in 4 days, from cutting to raking to baling to bunching to getting the fertilizer on and harrowed in, and away you go. 4 days later, 96 hours, perfect. But yeah, this week has been 100 some odd degrees, humidity. It's been heat index of like 100, humid, gross. We've had these spotty rains, so you get 1/4 inch here, you get 1/2 inch there, you get 210s, 1500s. It's just kind of a nuisance rains more than anything. Granted, we don't mind them, but yeah, hard to get jobs done when it doesn't want to quit raining, it seems like. And not like, oh, we got an inch of rain and now it's nice for 5 days. No, it's literally every 36 hours it seems like we were getting something. So right when it gets dried down, it's back to raining. So as you can see, we're kind of cooking along pretty good. We've already got 5 bales on there. So now I'm going to spin back around. There's no sense to keep going that way, and I got a few in front of me here. Get these bales picked up. This load's going pretty fast now. And if you get into like some lighter grass bales, if you got a little bit lighter, fluffier grass, you can actually, if you've got that hydraulic arm going too fast, you can flip them right over the edge. So they'll go flying right over that yellow bar. Our flag's up back there, so that means this will be our last bale for the Koyker. And you kind of get good at figuring out the angles, if you're coming in funny. Like there, I wasn't straight on, but I came in at a weird angle. So that's loaded up. I have carried them in the arm before, so you carry like a 9th one, right? 7 on there, 1 on the loader, and then if I'm like on my last batch and I'm way down there, I'll put a 9th one in the arm. I'll go slow. It's a heavy duty arm. You're not really hurting it, but If you got a big bale and rough terrain, it's probably not good for it. Not good for the welds or the hydraulic cylinders, any of that stuff. So I don't do it often. But it's like, man, if you got one last bale, or if you can do 3 trips like that, and it comes out even to being just 7s or 8 bale loads, I'll do it. I'll get it done right away like that. That's easier. So anyway, I'll only do that if it comes down to being, you know, if I do 3 trips like that, it'll make the rest of the loads even, you know. So I always usually do the math before I roll into a field and say, well, if I do 2 9-trip loads and a couple 8s, the rest can be 7s, and that'll save your time, especially in this field. This field's a mile long. So it's 35 acres, 1 mile long. Fun part about this field is you pull in here and you cut it, it's going to turn out perfectly with that new disc spine, 16 foot. It's 20 perfect windrows, and then when you come back to break it, it's 10 perfect windrows because you doubled everything up, right? And then after that, just baling it is just, you basically know, oh, we got 5 left, 4 left, 3, it's perfect. It's kind of a fun field. And actually this field's on its, like, I think it's 8th year. I want to say last year was the 7th in a drought, and it came back fantastic. So really impressed by the stand. We did fairly well on it the last few years, and it's kind of the field that just keeps on giving, man. It ain't tiring out yet. Let's see this dump again here. There you go. Perfect. On to the next one. So we just in that short amount of time, we've already got 4 bundles there. So we're almost half done. This will be our 5th bundle. And like I said, I leave the north end, I stack the north end bales on that side, and I stack the south end bales down on this side. Again, we got some along the bean field here, so I'll shoot some more footage here in a bit. Perfect. But yeah, this is the Koyker, man.